Have you been fighting depression? Have you been feeling like your depression is just too much for you to handle? Have you been feeling like your emotions and your life and everything that you're going through has been too much for you to even bear? I want to give you some tips today on how I have dealt with depression, how I've overcame depression, how I have used these tips in my life to help other people and to keep fighting depression through seasons of my life. I'm Christion Willett, the voice of my generation. My goal is to motivate, educate, and elevate every life that I come across so that we can live a great, prosperous, happy life, so that we can fulfill our purpose, our goals, and our dreams. I need you to like and subscribe because my goal is to change 1 billion lives, and I need your help in order to do that. So today we're going to get straight into it on how I overcame and fought depression. All right, so the first tip that I want to give you is that you have to focus on the solution and not the problem. A lot of times we're going through depression and we're constantly focused on depression. We're constantly focused on the problems of our life. We're constantly focusing on, why is this happening to me? Why can I never be happy? Why am I going through this? And we never even take time to think about a solution to help with that problem. When you're going through depression, sometimes you don't even know you're depressed. Sometimes you just think that you're super sad, or that you're just going through bad things in your life, and that you just think you can deal with it by overlooking it or just complaining about it. But no, fighting depression, you have to first recognize that you're depressed, that you have a problem, and then you have to focus on the solution. You see, acknowledging the problem is the first step, but that doesn't mean we focus on the problem. We have to focus on solutions to, how can I get myself out of this depression? How can I get myself into a healthy space mentally and physically in my life? Because a lot of times we think that being depressed is the worst thing in the world, when it's actually not. It just means that you're going through something that you need to deal with. Because if you're sick, right, you want to get healthy. You don't want to just walk around sick all the time. And a lot of people are depressed and they're not acknowledging that they're depressed. So they're just walking around sick and never healing from it. But when you can acknowledge that, hey, I'm sick, I'm depressed, then you focus on, what is the solution? How can I overcome this? What is the thing that's going to help me get out of this funk? Now I can focus on that every single day so that I can work on reversing that depression and making it happiness, making it joy. So you have to understand, when you're facing depression, don't focus on the problem, focus on the solution. I want to give you an example from my life. I never forget when my dad first passed. And when he died, I kept blaming myself for not spending enough time with him, for not being there for him enough when he was feeling down, when he was sick. I blame myself for the fact that, a big part of my life, we just never had a great relationship. But in actuality, I was just beating myself down with my own depression, when I could have been focused on the solution of how I can move on and have a healthy relationship with my dad even after he's gone. Right? Instead of thinking about the bad things, think about all the good moments me and my dad had. Think about all the times that he was there for me in my life. Think about the fact that he gave me life and that he was my father. So I had to switch my mind frame from always worrying about, what could have been, what if with my dad. And I had to figure out, how can I be a better father when I have children one day? Or what male figure in my life can I gravitate towards so that I can have that father-son like relationship? Never focus on the problem. We always have to focus our minds on the solution if we're going to fight and defeat depression. The second tip that I want to give you all is, don't accept depression. Never accept depression. Never sit there and say, well, I'm depressed, there's nothing I could do about it, that I'm worthless, that I'm nothing. Do not accept depression. Being depressed is a constant fight. It is a constant war with your mind, your heart, and soul. You cannot accept it. When people accept depression, they accept that they're not good enough. They accept that no one loves them. They accept that everything they've done in their life has been so horrible, and that's why I'm so depressed. You cannot accept that. That is a lie. That is a lie from your mind. That is a lie from the enemy, trying to get you to accept that you're depressed so that you can live a miserable life. You cannot accept depression. You have to understand that you have to move past depression. that you have to accept and understand that you are depressed, but there is a future. There is a tomorrow. There is hope for you. You can't accept depression and feel like that this is all my life is ever going to be, that there is no way I could get out of this hole. You cannot accept defeat. You cannot accept that depression is overtaking your life. You just have to understand what you need to do to get out of depression. There were so many times in my life that I was accepting depression, and I would be in a funk for like an entire month, depressed about the same thing, because I accepted that. I accepted that I made that mistake and that I wasn't good enough in that moment, or I wasn't smart enough in that moment. But you have to realize, don't accept that depression for the rest of your life. That is just a moment in your life that you can move on from, that you can have hope for a better future. I'll never forget when I lost my football scholarship. I accepted depression for a while. I accepted that I wasn't good enough to be on the football team anymore. I accepted that I wasn't smart enough to make good decisions, to deal with my coaches and have relationships in order to play on the football team. I accepted that, it was my time up to play football, that I wasn't good enough anymore to even play. So that's why I'm off the team. When that was all a lie, I had to realize, no, I just made a bad decision, and that's what got me removed from the team. I just chose to talk back to my coach, and that's what got me removed from the team. So you have to accept the wrong that you did, and you have to acknowledge your depression. But I could not accept that I was off the team and that I was in a bad situation in my life. I couldn't accept it forever. I had to acknowledge it, and I had to move on. So you cannot accept depression. You have to have hope for a future. What kind of changed my situation was I started to believe that I was still good enough. I started to tell myself and accept that I made a bad mistake, but I can still move on with my life, that I have more life to live. You have to start to tell yourself that depression is striking me right now, but I'm not going to accept it. You're not going to live here. You're just staying here it's like a hotel. You're staying here for a couple nights and then you got to go, because I have more happiness to bring into my life. I have more opportunities to make memories. I have another opportunity where I could go and seek another football scholarship. I can go seek another opportunity to keep chasing my dreams and chasing the things that I love. You cannot accept depression and allow it to manipulate your heart, mind, and soul to think that you're in that space forever. No, it's just a season of your life that you have to find out, how can I move on from it? The last tip that I want to leave you is with, you have to take it one day at a time. When you're going through depression, just take it one day at a time so you can heal. You don't have to get through a depression stage in an entire day or an hour or 2 hours. You don't have to lie to yourself and say, well, I'm not really depressed. I'm not sad. You don't have to lie. Accept that you're going through something. Accept that it's going to take time to heal. Accept that you can't just jump into a new relationship. You can't just jump into a new job. You can't just jump straight into new things in your life because you're still healing from something. You have to take it one day at a time so that you can properly heal and understand that you're going to make it through this. You have to take it one day at a time so that you can realize that you're bigger than depression. See, when you take it one day at a time, it's like you're just moving closer and closer towards getting better. It's like you're just taking baby steps. Sometimes it's not the right time to run. It's not the right time to sprint full forward. No, sometimes you just got to take baby steps in order to ease back into some things into your life that may have hurt you or that may have haunted you. I never forget in my life when I was in a relationship with this person, and I remember that it ended really badly. We said some things, she said some things, I said some things. And the biggest thing that I did was I was like, I can go jump into another relationship tomorrow. I'm just going to forget about her. Or I'm just going to go and date this person. I'm going to go on dates and talk to that person. I'm going to go deal with this person. But no, I had to just take it one day at a time. I had to stop myself and say, hey, you still care about that person. That person hurt you. But you can't just go hop into something else because you can't take that hurt into a new relationship. You can't take that hurt and think you're going to build something great off that hurt. No, I had to take it one day at a time. And I had to accept that I was hurt. I had to accept that that relationship was over. I had to accept and let that person go. I had to take it one day at a time so that I wasn't confusing myself on how I felt. I wasn't confusing myself on the healing process. And that's what you have to do with depression. Take it one day at a time. You don't have to be Superman. You don't gotta be this, I'm not depressed anymore, incredible. No, just take it one day at a time so that you can heal mentally, spiritually, and physically, and so that you can get better within yourself and that you're not lying to yourself. Just take it one day at a time. Just take it one moment at a time, one opportunity at a time. Just take it slow when you're getting out of depression so that you can properly heal and make your way to the other side, which is happiness, which is joy, which is peace. You want to find that. But if you're rushing through this healing process, you're not going to find it. So you got to take it one day at a time. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you all learned something, and I hope that my advice really helped you. Remember, leave a comment on this video if it's really helped you or you have any questions. Remember, subscribe, like, and share. This is the YouTube channel where we're going to motivate, educate, and elevate people to grow in their lives, to grow in every area so that they can become the best version of themselves. Christion Willett, the voice of my generation. I'm out.